Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creeper World 4 development. Let's just jump right in the middle of a mission because I have a whole bunch of stuff I'd like to show you. A lot of changes since last time. Economic upgrade, even some weapon changes. So I'm mid-mission, and let's just scroll out here and take a look at the whole map. Got a bunch of stuff going on already. Some spores and some blobs are inbound, and I've already got some defenses built. And I've got some new structures I'm going to talk about here, but let's just take a gander at what's on the map. You'll notice this is new if you've been keeping up with development to date. This new greenar crystal is another resource. It's how we get the green resource now that we can use back at our factory to manufacture liftic and tuffium. We've got a new structure here called an urn portal. This is used for upgrades. I'll show you that in a moment. And we've got a new way to collect this greenar, and it's via this little drone that flies out, harvests the crystals and brings them home, and then processes them to produce the greenar resource, which then makes its way along our network all the way back over here to my factory to produce what I'm telling it to produce, in this case liftic and tuffium. And by the way, you may notice there's some sound effects. These are new to the game as well. There's even some music. Now this music is just stub royalty-free Google music right now, so this is not the soundtrack of the game, but you can tell which song is playing, and I can even skip songs right here. It's just there. They're just there as placeholders for the real music, which will come later. Anyway, so let's take a deeper dive into some of these concepts and then show you something new over here in our air menu. So the greenar, I need it. I need this resource to manufacture tuffium, and I'm going to need that tuffium to use some of the special weapons, one of which I want to show you. I'm going to go ahead and start construction of this guy. He's a big guy, rocket pad. Oh, I just took a hit there. So let's focus on the game here for a minute. So let's pause and take a look. I need to secure better production on the greenar. It's getting flooded by this creeper, and that's going to prevent me from harvesting it. Let's go into our new settings menu. I don't think this was in the last video either, and let's tone down some of that music a little bit in case it's a little too loud. It looks like I haven't built any sprayers, so I'm not using my anti-creeper resource. Let's position a few of these guys around. They're always good to have in case an enemy breaks through your front lines. You might like to have some anti-creeper nearby. All it takes is one spore, one blob to kind of make his way in, and we could have some trouble. I'm going to put one here because I'd like to get some anti-creeper flooded on top of this hill so that we can better secure it. And let's build some more mortars. Another little, just a minor tweak, if you want to build a unit that already exists, you don't have to go find it in the menu. You can just point at it. Like say I wanted to build another pulse cannon, I just point at it and I press tab. That automatically selects it for building, and you can click and build as much as you want. And I've got cancel mapped to spacebar, so when you hear me clicking on my mechanical keyboard, those are the two keys you hear me pressing most often: space for cancel and tab to pick what I'd like to build. So let's move forward. See if we can't get some weapons fire on this creeper. Get up here and help secure this hill a little bit. Now in the back lines, let's just pause, take a quick look. We've got a stash that charges that periodically goes off, making these huge monster wave. There's also an area of breeder, and in this mission I have it set to go off for 10 seconds out of every minute. and it's a very aggressive rate. So when it goes off, you'll see a big mound of creeper emerge from the abyss, and that also creates a wave that goes out and helps feed that stash. So on this rocket, let's set auto launch to off, because I don't want to miss it. I want to show that to you, so I want to manually launch him when he's built. It takes energy to build the pad, but it takes Tuffium to build the rockets and the payloads that are going to go into orbit. So that's why I need this crystal, Greenar crystal resource, because that's what turns into Tuffium. Now I've got the one drone here, so let's pick him and see if we can't find a good spot, maybe to build another one. Let's make room right here. So let's build him. This is a non-square unit, so let's rotate it so that it might better fit. Now you can see the range that it can operate in as I move around. If I was up here, you can see the area that the drone will be able to harvest. This would only half cover the Greenar crystal area. So let's put it there, and it's going to cover most of it. And let's let that go. That'll get us more collection going here. And while I'm at it, let's put another one over here. Get more of these producing. Need to move my units forward here. Won't hurt to move that sprayer forward either. Now the Greenar mother crystal, the one in the middle, spawns these little babies crystals around it, and it will respawn them, but it can only put them where the terrain is flat and there are no units. So if I have irregular terrain, it would behoove me to terraform it to make a greater surface area for the mother crystal to operate in. And if I have units in the way, then that can slow down or hamper the production as well. But right now I don't have much choice. I have to have some units in range to protect the area, so the refinery drones can go get the crystals. Now, one other thing that check out my network. I started up here, and the reason I started up here is because I had a sentimental attachment to what I called Sector L, and the reason why is because, let's just take a closer look. There's life on this world. It's returned somehow or another. Life has returned, and I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want the creeper to destroy the little ember of life that's returned on this world. So I decided to start up here so that I could protect these trees and these plants that are here. But because I did that, most of my resources were down here, so I had to build a network, and it's very extended. So my factory's up here. I can't do much about that now, but my command base is up here, and I would like to relocate that. I want to move it more central to my base because my area of operation is further down here, and I don't want to build rifts and spend the money on that quite yet. So one way to solve this problem is to see if I can just relocate my command base and shorten the lines of transmission. So all right, I'm making some progress now. I am managing to harvest these crystals, which is turning into Tuffium, which is going into our rocket, and he's at 4 out of 5 bars of completion. Well, he's at 5, so he's almost done now. When he's done, we'll launch him. We'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about some of the upgrades, and then I will try to put all this together and see if I can't manage to make some progress. So in order to do that, probably let's build some porters. Won't hurt to have a few of those ready in case we need to do remote operations. Okay, our rocket is ready. So let's go here. Normally it's set to auto launch, so when it's done it would just take off and go to orbit, but I've turned that off so that I can do a manual launch, and we'll just do that now. he goes, and he goes to orbit, and he carries with him a payload, this orbital payload. Now the interface for this is hot off the press. It's likely to move and get redone and rebalanced and all that good stuff. But for now, we've got these things to play with. It put this satellite in orbit that can deploy different capabilities. It can do what I call rain down destruction from orbit, deploy a singularity that kind of sucks up the creeper into an area. You can deploy a dampening field in an area. If you've got a big tsunami coming for you, you can just sort of damp those waves. It doesn't totally freeze the creeper, but it really turns it into molasses. And then you can fire a conversion bomb in a limited area. Now, that one takes 2 orbital satellites, and I've only got 1 in orbit right now. But I could do any of these first 3. And the rocket's continuing to build, and we've really got our toughie in production going. It looks like, because we've managed to clear out some of this area, and our drones are operating and collecting this crystal. So we'll let that system keep going. There's this other thing here. Oh gosh, I'm taking some hits for some shards, which are really raining on the parade up here. Stunning this area. It's okay though. It's cutting off production, which is cutting off these mortars. Oh gosh, look at that. Oh, took a spore hit, but you know, I said earlier, it's good to have these sprayers parked around because you never know when something's going to get through. That's exactly what saved the day up here. I had a sprayer on top of the hill. Had I not had that, or a cannon or something, then I could have lost this refinery, maybe even that sniper. So there's this thing here, arrow pointing. It's indicating that there's something buried, and these are called urns, and ERNs. And I have this urn portal up here. If I click on it, you can see the current upgrades that are available. And I have purchased 3 of them: collection, build speed, and fire range. And I really don't need build speed right now. Let's ramp up mine production. So let's release one here and deploy it there. And the urn cube left and moved over. If you weren't paying attention to this area, I'll do it again. I'm going to release, and the little urn cube up here is now free. If I put it on fire rate, for instance, it would move over and dock with that area and start implementing that upgrade over time. You can see the efficiency. So let's release that. Go back to mine production, because that will increase the production of everything related to our factory, so that we might be able to get rockets in orbit. Oh, you know what I should do? I should put that back on auto launch, so I don't have to mind the space facilities. They'll just go into orbit. So when a map starts, some urns can be free on the map. They can just be above ground, and as soon as you build a portal, you can assign them to a slot, and the urns will make their way there and they'll dock. Other ones might be buried in the terrain, and if they are, then you have to get to them with a terp in range so that it can excavate them. So I'm going to build a couple terps to get them ready, because I'd like to get this guy if there's some way I can secure this area. Let's build some more assets. And did we ever finish? You know what? Let's see if we can bring him further in. You have to be a little careful with the with your command base here, because if you ever disconnect it from the network, then all of your collectors go offline. And this is a little risky maneuver here. Let's see if he maintains connectivity. If he doesn't, okay, yeah, we're good. If he ever lost connectivity to the network, then all of our energy producers, all of our towers would go offline, and it would be 30 seconds before they ramp back up. And that can be disastrous when you're in a continuous engagement with the enemy. So we've managed to get 2 orbitals into orbit. I'm still saving those guys, because I might like to try to take one of these hills. We got some assets en route. We've got some energy pods we could send in. So the question is, what do we want to do? Let's see. I'm not going to be able to show all these in the video. So damper slows it up. Singularity kind of absorbs it into an area. Conversion does kind of what a fat man used to do. Maybe I'll use rain. I could use it twice even to secure an area. And we're about to get third because we've done a good job on our green art production. At least kinda. There are some threats. This crimson is threatening to sneak in here. Better keep an eye on that. Yeah, look at that. He's might need to move forward with our mortars just a little bit. Oh, before I launch this assault, just one other thing. The urns can be used in the portal, but they can also be used for one other thing, which is an urn zone. It takes 5 Tuffium to build that, but let me see if I can. Maybe I can cheat and show you how this works. If I can build it here, let's put her down here, and hopefully we can keep the creeper off of it. We won't lose it. It only takes 5 Tuffium to build, but by itself it does nothing. You need a free urn. Now, I don't have any free urns right now. I've got 2, you can see by the display up here near the top left. I have 2 that are buried, but 0 that are available. So I either have to excavate one, or I have to release one from my upgrades. Let's release it from the mine production. We can take a hit in production. And he is building. He takes the 5 Tuffium to build, but when he's complete, he will call for that urn. We've got a spore inbound over here. You know what? It wouldn't hurt for me to have the missile launcher over here. He might go in range of an existing missile launcher. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, looks like that zone, the urn zone, is complete. So you can see the urn is going to make his way. These urns are indestructible. They, as you can imagine, it's part of the lore. They are not of your civilization. They are something else, something special. So he's going to go here. He's going to dock, and when he does, you can see the normal range of a mortar as I move around. But if I move him here, then any unit I park on that urn zone gets an enhanced fire rate and fire range. It's like a power zone from Creeper World 3, except you can construct it. It costs you some expensive resource, a little bit, and it will tie up one of your urns, one of your upgrade cubes, and those are finite. But you can position the equivalent of a Creeper World 3 power zone where you'd like it. Now, if I need to relocate it, I can destroy it. It will release the urn. The urn is indestructible, remember. But then I'll need 5 Tuffium. I'll need 5 of the expensive resource to build it again where I'd like. But it's only 5. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's just sort of up to you strategically based on what you have and where you want to use it and when you want to use it. So he's making good progress here. Let's go ahead and use one of these orbitals. I got 4 of them up there now. So maybe I'll do something neat. I'm going to do a singularity. Maybe I'll do it in the deep area over here, and then I'll fire rain down on top of it so that it destroys it, because the singularity pulls it in. So let's drop him down from orbit. Here comes our singularity. It lasts for, I believe I've got him set to 30 seconds right now, so he's absorbing. I can even pull in enough to get conversion, if you get creeper really, really deep, it will convert into anti-creeper, so I can get some destruction that way. But let's pause it. Let me call down some rain on top of that and work it down do some good destruction. Yeah, that really, you can see a big dip in the creeper graph here, a delta, big time destruction. That was so much destruction, it's helped alleviate some of the pressure here. We could, I've got 2 left, I could do it again in this area, I could do some conversion. Let's see, let's see if we can move in and get these guys that we built positioned. Got some guys on the back row here that we don't entirely need. Now I'm going to need to call in the energy support if there's a hope here. You know, what I should have done was had these guys built, because a little bit of anti-creeper. Let's borrow him. Let's take him. See if we can get away with that. Now, part of the problem here is I've got waves flooding over it. So let's try this. Let's deploy a damping field. It's huge. It's a huge field, but it should settle things down so that they can get in there and clear it off, and we won't get a flood back in. Let's send in our support crew here, drop off some energy pods. Okay, they're doing a good job so far. There goes that rocket again. Nothing like the sound of that rocket taking off. That means good things. Oh, you know what? Gosh. I didn't set these to repeat their route, so I better do that so they keep going, otherwise we're going to run out of energy up here. Hill secured, it looks like. Now let's not wait. Oh, you look at that. Got a shard attack. What I really want to do is I'd like to get this guy excavated. This forward position here on the hill is it's going to help cut off the flow into this area, but I need more up here. Get these guys built. Let's build another porter. This one let's set to carry anti-creeper, because we've got a sprayer up here. Oh, let's not forget repeat route. That's right. That's fine right there. When you tab a build unit, point to a unit and press tab, it will copy the settings of that unit. So if you've already got a unit set up that you like, and you tab to select to build it, when you build the new one, it will already build with those settings. Okay, mortars, yes. This is what the doctor ordered. And we can bring let's bring another cannon forward. Here, yeah, we're really thinning it out here. Once we do, our terps, or a terp, should be able to get to work on that. In fact, I might be able to sneak up in here. I got a little bit of a slowness going here, so let's get our lines sped up a little bit. Yeah. It's got to be uncovered. You can't drill through the creeper. So I've got a little bit flowing in here. Pull him back. Might even be able to work it from both directions. Okay, there we go. That anti-creeper. Yeah, it's gonna really help. Get him excavated. I'll have that urn. I can choose to use it on an upgrade, or I can use it on another or the urn zone. So he's free now. Fire rate, let's deploy him on fire rate. It'll hurt us on energy, but increase the effectiveness of every existing weapon. Won't hurt a few more of these things. Now you notice I've not built any collectors in this area. If you do the Soylent field, the green field that collects energy, it destroys the trees. That's why I didn't build it there. The trees don't mean anything, at least not yet, and they probably won't by the final game. Who knows? But yeah, there's just a sentimental attachment to them. I didn't want to destroy them. Yeah, look at this. So we can hardline now. Whenever you can, get that line built. So awesome. All right. So from here we could even pick up another urn, and we could continue our assault. We could, let's see, I could do Singularity. Pull it in. That's really going to charge that stash up, and then let's let her build. Let's let it flip, even if it will. There's a little bit of a flip. Sitting right on top of this huge area here, and then let's deploy conversion bomb from orbit. So that'll do a lot of damage in the creeper. Now, firing the conversion effect takes 2 of the orbitals. It's twice as expensive, but that was a lot. That's a lot of devastation there. I think we've basically got this mission one. We could talk about how to take these hills, whether to potentially take this one, what we're going to do about this area here that once a minute cycles and produces a lot. 10 seconds out of every 60 it turns on and builds a huge amount of, there it goes, you can see it pulsing. That makes a lot of creeper, and it also, you can see the graph increasing here, and it makes a big wave, and it helps charge this stash. So that's the current state. Things are still in flux, as you can tell, but there's also progress being made. There's little visual details that you can, rocks and things. There's upgrades. There's a new way to get the green crystal. There's an orbital system that deploys semi-powerful things into orbit. There's urn zones, which are similar to power zones, and then there's everything else that was pre-existing in the game. And there's a few other little visual flare things that have been added. There's a little rotating light on the command base. We've got trees and other life that can be painted and stuck around on the map. So that's the preview for this month. Continue to stay tuned, and thanks for watching.